time, I must also recall a specific incident that happened when we were conducting a public class for the scientists at DRDO in Hyderabad. Because I was adept at conducting presentations, Guru Mata would often give me the opportunity and the responsibility of conducting sessions in various corporate offices, government offices, etc. In the DRDO session at Hyderabad, I had the opportunity of speaking to all of the scientists on the benefits of meditation, on the importance of doing meditation, and how Sushumna Kriya Yoga meditation can actually trigger and stimulate our nerves, our energy bodies, which is called as the nadis, and our chakras, the energy centers, which in turn creates a perfect balance in us to create a better human individual. Not only does it make our organs more effective, it actually transmits energy to every single cell so that the human being becomes a more efficient human being in every sense of the way. And as I was speaking about these things in the DRDO, scientists there not only listened with rapt attention, after the session they walked up to me and they were actually all appreciation for the presentation. After that, in Guru Mata's presence, they were initiated into the Kriya Yoga. Not only did they experience the wonderful power of the Kriya Yoga, scientists actually came asking for more sessions from Guru Mata in the other offices of DRDO, including one of the sessions that was later conducted at Dehradun. Post the session, we had an evening meeting amongst the disciples of Guru Mata and her in the gardens of the research facility. We were all sitting together and there was a session of meditation. And post the session of meditation, we were listening to what Guru Mata had as messages for us. As we all sat there in rapt attention, I had a divine vision. Guru Mata, sitting there right in front of me, transformed herself as an ethereal spirit. A whitish blue light shone off from her body and she manifested into multiple dimensions where she appeared as all the great gurus and lords. I could see in her Sri Yogananda ji, I could see Sri Yukteswar Giri ji, I could see Shirdi Sai Baba Garu, I could see her transform as Shiva and Parvati Devi, I could see her transform as Mahavishnu, and she showed that all of these various dimensions were available right there in front of us in spirit form. And as she was undergoing these various transformations, I was sitting there in complete bliss, enjoying the scene. Later on, when I narrated that experience, other devotees too felt the divine presence there in the presence of Guru Mata. Now, many of you may be skeptical about this experience and you may think that, oh well, you must have been just imaginatively thinking, or that could be a fanciful thought. I would have been skeptical too, but here is what I would say. When I was in deep meditation, I had asked myself, was that vision something that I was imagining? Was it a fitful imagination on my part, or was that a vision that was given? And when I narrated it to Guru Mata, she approved the same. This did not happen just once in the DRDO facility. I have experienced Guru Mata manifesting herself, and other devotees too have experienced this even in places very remote. For example, when I was in the US, like I said, I had the wonderful opportunity of traveling along to various cities of the US with Guru Mata, sharing not only some of my experiences, but also conducting a lot of the presentations in many of the cities. As we all know, the Western world is a world of observation, a world of rational thinking. A lot of the people there focus only on the aspect of what is observable, that is acceptable. Whatever is not observable, that is not acceptable. And we expected that a lot of our audience would come back and ask us questions with a scientific and a rational temperament, which is where I was prepared with answers for well-being, how Sushumna Kriya Yoga can lead to the overall holistic well-being of an individual. I had prepared presentations around how Sushumna Kriya Yoga enables an individual to become more hearty and peaceful and to reduce stress in life. In fact, most of us today would agree, and there are a lot of research papers that show any person who does meditation, at least for 1 hour a day, lives a much better lifestyle, lives in a much more peaceful way, and can completely overcome stress. They sleep better. Their patterns of body and rejuvenation of mind and body is always better. They show better psychosomatic balances. These are research papers that are already published in the journals of psychology, in journals of medical science across the globe. And when we had taken these various aspects of how meditation helps an individual, the American audience also not just appreciated it, but they experienced it firsthand because they did the Kriya in Ammagaru's presence. They immediately experienced the benefits, and post the session, they would throng to come and ask us, devotees, as to when is the next session, where is the next session, which in turn today has transformed into a series of both live and virtual sessions that are being conducted for all audiences across the globe. There were moments where there would be audiences who would be there with a sense of skepticism, a lot of doubt in the mind as to why is a person being celebrated. And every time Guru Mata would answer them with a lot of acceptance and love of their skepticism, saying that all that we give you here is a gift. Our beloved Gurus, Pujya Shri Bhoganatha Siddhar and Pujya Mahavatar Babaji, have gifted this technique through her to all of the humanity at large so that people can benefit from it. And she would invite them to try it. And she would say, you benefit from it, you realize the benefit, and only then accept it. The moment she would say this with a lot of love, people would not only accept it, they would understand and see that this is a realized being speaking out of humility, not speaking out of any amount of ego. Another incident I remember is after our Pondicherry class, every one of the devotees were gathered in a hall where Guru Mata was supposed to give us individual audience. Every one of us were waiting to talk to Guru Mata one-on-one, and she said that she would answer questions one-on-one for all the devotees. I was just a very new candidate into Sushumna Kriya Yoga, hardly 3 months there. So I was waiting for my turn. And fortunately for me, the place in the hall where I was sitting amongst hundreds of other devotees, Guru Mata came and sat right opposite to me. And then as people came there, started talking and sharing their desires, their wants, their pains to Guru Mata, she would answer every one of their questions or bless them. And many of them would fall at her feet. While people were falling at her feet, Guru Mata very gently prodded all of us, saying, only those people need to fall at my feet who still have the element of ego within them. People who have lost their ego, you need not fall at my feet, is what Guru Mata said. But every person would come and prostrate in front of her. One of our very senior meditators, right in front of me, he prostrated before her feet. I observed the devoutness and the devotion with which he was prostrating at Guru Mata's feet, and within my heart I felt, oh wow, such devotion. Even such a senior person is falling at Guru Mata's feet like a little child falling at the feet of their parents. That is when I was wondering in my own heart, whereas Guru Mata just said the message, the moment he said that message, only those of you who have ego left in you need to fall at my feet, others need not. That immediately struck, was this message for some of us? And without a second thought, I immediately fell at her feet. I prostrated in front of her feet. And the moment I did that, although I am generally either at a superego state or at a very humble state, the moment I fell at her feet, I immediately felt that whatever ego was left in me was washed away. A feeling of complete submissiveness of a child to a mother. And as I looked up into her eyes, I told her only one thing. Mataji, please take all the energy of my soul and please ensure that this is distributed to everybody across earth and humanity to benefit from this Kriya, because I have seen its power and I think everyone must benefit from it. Ammagaru looked into my eyes, and without my own knowledge, tears welled in my eyes for the infinite love that she shows. Ammagaru has always stated to all our devotees that always teach Sushumna Kriya Yoga for free to anyone who is seeking. And as you teach it, do not expect anything in return. Don't even expect that they will go back and practice it. But you do your duty. You sow the seed, and at some point in time, the seed shall germinate. Such wonderful, wise words of love. She also says this, only people who are deserving will get the initiation into the Kriya. And if you have the opportunity of helping someone get initiated, if the initiation is happening through you, consider it your blessing, because you have been given the opportunity of enabling someone spiritually, giving someone a gift of, let's say, money, or giving someone a gift of knowledge, are definitely great elements of charity. And between money and knowledge, definitely giving someone knowledge and enabling someone is a much more wealthier gift to give. However, the highest gift that you can give someone is the gift of spirituality. Enabling someone in their spiritual progression or giving them a spiritual technique is the highest gift you can give. And this is where Guru Mata always insisted to all of us, saying that when you do the honorable task of enabling someone else and teaching someone the Sushumna Kriya Yoga technique, you're not just enabling that person, you're also enabling your own self, and you're enabling that person to take off the karmic, accumulations of 7 generations. Now, this one noble cause that Guru Mata always taught us is, you do your job, you do your duty, don't have an expectation, do it with the sincere intent that the other person must be benefited just as you have benefited on your own. Also, she never takes any money or any fees for any of her classes anywhere. Why? Because she says that unless someone has benefited from a certain practice, why would someone even have to pay for it? Gurus have given this as a gift to humanity, so let it always remain a gift. And in return, if someone genuinely having benefited from it wants to gift something to the organization, to the foundation, which is a not-for-profit organization, to in turn spread this and give this gift to many more, let people make a gift back. This was one thing that struck me very deeply right from my early times that I have been associated with Guru Mata, right from 2014. In the Pondicherry class, I remember the love with which Guru Mata accepted the offering that I made to take my soul and take care of it. And Guru Mata never ever lets go a single soul. She, like I earlier already mentioned, she lovingly takes care of every single soul that comes in her aegis and submits to her. I've experienced her love in multiple occasions. In one of the occasions where I was suffering from a severe bout of colitis while I was in the United States, and I was in a dilemma of whether or not I should go ahead and let's say, change the dosage of the medicine that I was having, quite contrary and against what my doctors told me. The doctors gave me a certain dosage and they told me to follow that. And I was hospitalized at that point in time, and I was in very bad shape. I was not even able to stand on my own feet. But my soul within me kept telling that that dosage was not right, to change the dosage and stagger the dosage across the day. And I was in a big dilemma. There was also a point in time where the doctors wanted to give me a severe immunosuppressant, an immunosuppressant that would completely neutralize my immune system. This injection was not only very expensive, where the first dose cost something like $65,000, and I had to take a booster dose every 14 days for the rest of my life, where every booster dose cost something like $1,500. So that would have left me into a permanent economic crisis throughout my life if I had taken it. But my soul kept telling me, no, you can fight back. Do your meditation practice and allow your body to rejuvenate. This was when I sincerely prayed to the Gurus. Even on my hospital bed, I continued to pray to the Gurus and ask the Gurus for guidance. And I got that guidance. Gurus physically appeared in front of me on my bed at night, and they blessed me saying, Anirban, you're right. You can stagger your own dose and do not take the immunosuppressant. The very next day, when the duty doctor came by, I requested the doctor to change my dosage. And that was accepted, and I was allowed to try the changed dosage of staggering the dosage across 4 times in a day instead of taking all the 4 doses at once. It was a weekend. In 2 days' time, Saturday and Sunday flat, my body not only responded well to the change, it completely healed, and by Monday morning, my blood electrolytes were all balanced. The doctor said that I was good enough to be released. And 3 days from then, I actually was taken back from the hospital. And ever since, that particular medical condition has never affected me. So you see, even though we are miles apart, like a loving mother, she is there taking care of us. My Guru Mata is truly like a mother, loving us, taking care of us. Whether she be there in our physical proximity or not, her blessings, like a shadow, is always taking care of us, watching over us. She's watching not just over her devotees, she's also watching over people, things, animals, and all kinds of creatures. She keeps telling us the importance of simplistic living. of being in harmony with nature, of being in complete loving, compassionate care of all forms of life. This, I think, is the mark of a realized one, the mark of a guru who does not distinguish, treats everyone as equals, and genuinely loves all her devotees. I could go on sharing several different experiences where I saw how Guru Mata's compassionate self teaches each one of us about that wonderful sense of love that exudes from every single cell of a body, and that in turn inspires us to be loving and compassionate to all of our fellow human beings, to all of our fellow living things, and all of nature and coexistence. She always teaches the principle of harmonious coexistence, and I think in that sense, I'm blessed to have her as our Guru Mata. With these few words, I think I will leave the rest of my experiences to be shared another time. Thank you. Om Sushumna.